Today we're back into the swing of Eigen seminars.
Hey.
So we thought today we would do a bit of a one on something new, something different. I'm sure many of you have noticed it now. Is that the stage application or thing is now out there. It's actually in the unstable releases, but we're now testing it, and it's looking pretty good. So we thought we'd give a bit of an introduction to that, to get you using it and giving your feedback and whatnot. So today we're really just looking at what actually is Stage, what it can do, how you create your own Stage tabs, and then just any questions. We've got a few already that came in over the holidays, so we'll be looking at those. So today Dave is going to be demonstrating on the alpha, but we've also got a tau question as well, which we're going to cover towards the end. So same as before, any questions that are relevant to the topic that Dave's talking about, do put them in the Justin TV chat, and we'll get to them there and then, hopefully. If it's slightly off topic or anything like that, try and save them towards the end, just so we can try and keep as on topic as possible. So as I said, this stage application is in the unstable releases. So you actually need to, if you haven't already, is download the latest unstable release, which is 1.3.9 from our software tab. I just put the link into the chat window there. So that should be good. So yeah, I think that's everything. Dave, do let us know, as we haven't done this for a while, do let us know if our mics or you can't hear or whatnot as well.
Cool. All right. Well, hello. So yeah, today, as Aaron said, we're going to be looking at the new Stage applications. I'll start off. I was going to go through everything that Stage does. So I'm going to build a new tab, or build a couple of new tabs, and just show you what I'm doing. The good thing about Stage is it's actually it's quite it's fairly self-explanatory compared to bel canto, so that's great. So a lot of you will already know how to do a lot of this from experimenting with it. So we're going to do the Stage thing, and then after that, I've got a question. There's been a bit of confusion with like changing scales and tonics on the tau using like changing the scale of different key groups from different key groups. So I'm going to cover that, and then the final thing I'm going to do is a little bit more of an advanced thing. I'm going to show you how to connect switch pedals to talkers, so we can trigger whatever we want, basically, from if you've got an alpha or if you've got a pro base station, you can plug in the two switch pedal inputs. So I'll show you how to trigger different talkers off that. So first of all, Stage. So I'm running 1.3.9, which is an unstable release. So hopefully it'll be okay. I have just noticed myself, and I noticed Robin had the same problem. I just tried to load Alpha Setup 3, and it had a little bit of a trouble with that. So that's obviously a bug that we have to fix in the unstable release, but we'll get on that. Okay, so what I did, I opened EigenD. I've loaded Alpha Setup 2, so that's the 2-split setup. And then from the Tools menu, where we normally have Eigenbrowser and Eigencommander, there's the new one, Stage, which we can also get to by pressing Apple and G. So when Stage first loads, what it does is it looks for any copies of EigenD running over the network. So you can actually run Stage off a different computer if you wish to, from the computer that you're using to do all the audio stuff. But I've got it running on the same computer. Okay, so this is what you're presented with. I've got a blank screen here. You can see up here there's this tab at the top which says Untitled. And essentially what Stage allows us to do is build build controls on screen for the various parameters that you can access within EigenD. Normally, for most of these parameters, we've had to either change them using bel canto, or of course there's quite a lot of talkers and controllers built into the EigenD setup. But now like you can create your own environments, and you can have a number of different tabs, and basically build your own controls for things that you do regularly. I thought one thing that would be useful for me, personally, I thought would be to have a big screen that tells me what octave each key group is in, especially when I find when I'm performing with the alpha, often like different songs, you need to change the octave for each key group for the next song. and obviously you don't want to be like going through and hitting notes and making sure it's in the right octave. So like a big screen where it gives you feedback of what octave each key group in would be useful. So I'm gonna do that. So first of all, we've got these controls along the top here. The first one we need is this plus symbol here, and this is the create controls. This is where we create these. We call them widgets, by the way. These these kind of knobs and faders on the screen. So I'll hit the create control button. On the right, we get this window that pops up, browse available agents. And in this window, we have a list of every single agent that is in Alpha Setup 2. And there's quite a lot, as you can see. And for people who are new to this kind of Eigenharp bel canto world, what an agent is it's basically a module. It's a small piece of software. An Eigenharp setup has quite a number of different modules, or these agents that run simultaneously, and then they have connections going between them. So for example, an agent would be, well, we can look here, like an agent could be anything, like the drummer or the metronome. These are different agents. There's a mixer agent, an audio unit plugin would be an agent. There's all sorts of things. A key group is an agent. So we have the list here of all the different available agents. And as I said, what I'm going to do is build a quick screen that has a control for the octave of each key group in the Alpha Setup 2. So the first thing I need to do then, in that case, is go to the key groups. So I'll scroll down until I find K group 1. So K group 1 is the big key group on split 1. It's the same for the tau as well. So I've got K group 1. You can see there's a little plus. If we go full screen again, see there's a little plus key next to K group 1, and I hit that. And inside here, we can see all the parameters that are associated in bel canto world with key group 1. And there's quite a few of them. These key group outputs are, well, the key group output, as a lot of you will know, is when you press down a mode key, all these available lights, all these lights which represent the available instruments or controls, each one of these is called a key group output. So on key group 1, if I press down the mode key, you can see there's a whole load of lights, and that's why if we look in this right window here, there's a whole load of key group outputs as well, and there's more controls buried in there associated with each key group output. But we're just going to do the global ones. So I'm on key group 1. I scroll down. I'm looking for octave, and here is octave. So you can see that's black. The greyed out ones are ones that are either inputs rather than parameters, or they're things that we haven't quite built suitable widgets for or controls for yet. But octave we can do. So I hold down octave and I drag it onto the blank page, and you can see I now have this lovely rotary knob here, and I can, actually I've jumped a bit there, but okay, so I've got this big rotary knob. Now along the top again, I'm going to look at more of these controls. So the first one I look at is this one. If I hover over it, it's called size and position. So I click on that, and then I've got these kind of, how would you describe?
Guidelines.
The guidelines appear around it. And I click on the edge of them, and these arrows appears, and I can resize the controls to whatever size I want. You can have a massive one if you want. And then you can see just under the writing, there's another line. I'll zoom in a bit. So there's two lines here. If I hold down the one just under the writing, I can change the size of the text as well, which is cool. So I can resize the text like so. Okay, so I'll build. So what I want, I need an octave control for key group 1. I also need one for the two key groups on split 2, which are key group 2 and key group 3. So I go back to my create control, this one here. The window pops up on the side again. Find key group 2, so hit the plus button next to key group 2, scroll down, and there's another octave, so I drag that on there. And then finally I need key group 3. So scroll down until I can find key group 3, press the plus button, scroll down again, and here's the octave for key group 3. So that's that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my size and position tool at the top. Click on this. Zoom out. Okay, so now I move them all about. I'm going to lay them out a little bit like the split. So I'll have key group 1 on the side on its own, and then I'll have key group 2 and 3 on top of each other. I was hoping to do this with alpha setup 3, and then I would have been able to kind of map out all the splits, but this will do with just 2 splits. Okay, so I've got them on top of each other. The next thing to do is have a look at this edit control up here. So it's the second one the one to the right of the create control. Hit edit, and now whatever I click on, it opens a little window. So I'll click on key group 1's octave. Opens a little window where I've got all these properties. The first thing I'm going to do is just change the name. So I'm going to call it key group 1 octave. Hit enter. Go back to the size and position tool because I need to change. I made that text far too big. So key group 1 octave. Move that so you can see I've got that there now. I'll just do the same for the other two. So hit the edit tool. Click on key group 2 octave. I'll just name that as key group 2 octave. And then the third one, key group 3 octave. Okay. So I've got my 3 controls now, all labelled. But there's more things we can edit. So we can have different kinds of controls. At the moment, we've got this rotary knob. If I click on key group 1 octave control again, we've got the properties back up. You can see here, type, rotary knob. I click on that and I get presented with a whole load of options. So it could be a horizontal or vertical slider, so that looks like this. It's like a fader on a mixing desk. So we've got this thing now. Or I can do the plus minus buttons. And I think minus plus buttons are probably the most useful for the octave. Well, that's what I'm going to go for. I'll do the same for the rest of them. And a third one, minus plus buttons. Okay, so now this is good because I could easily glance down at this while I'm playing and get a quick feedback as to what octave we're actually in, my key groups are in at the moment. The thing is, okay, so if I grab the Eigenharp now, and I'm going to go to the piano on key group 1. Okay, so oh, sorry, this is key group 2, key group 3 even. So key group 1 piano. So playing some notes. If I try and change the octave now, oh, by the way, to do that, I need to actually use the controls. I need to click on this arrow, this perform one here up in the top left. So I've got an arrow now. The guides go away. Okay, so key group 1 octave. I'm playing here, but then I click the plus button, and you'll notice they're not actually going up by octaves at all. It's going up by 0.1 of an octave, which isn't that useful. So this is why we've put in this step control. So I'm going to go back to the edit one last time, click on the key group 1 octave control, and you can see down here now we've got step, and that is set to 0.1. So what I need to do is just delete that and put it in as 1. Okay, so now you can see that the decimal point's gone away on my key group octave thing, and I can you can see it's also, if I change the, if I use the talkers on the instrument to change the octave, it's also giving me feedback as to what octave is in. So that's all good. I'll just do that really quickly for the other two. So key group 2 octave, I click on it, need to do the same thing, so I'll set the step to 1, and press enter, and key group 3, set the step to 1, and press, click OK, press enter.